Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Two Conference. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Two Confrontational. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Two Confrontational, where we preview each week. All right, we can't keep doing this. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Two Confrontational, where we preview each week of the NFL, give our picks and predictions for the top games and performances for the upcoming week. Week 12 of the NFL. We had an awesome slate last week. We'll kind of go through
hmm
that as we go through the games here, but we'll just hop right into week 12. Starting off, we got another divisional matchup, the AFC North, that we had last week. We had the Ravens and the Bengals Ravens and Bengals last week on Thursday night, or who was
Ravens and Steelers. Ravens and
no
Steelers.
Eagles and Commanders. Eagles and
Yeah.
Commanders were last week. That was a nice divisional matchup, and now we have the Steelers and the Browns, which is going to be a good
Browns.
one. But yeah, Browns hit or miss depending on how Jameis Winston plays. But yeah, we'll hop right into it. We got
hmm
the 8-2 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Cleveland to take on the 2-8 Browns. Pittsburgh is favored by 3.5 in this one on the road. Russ Wilson playing well, and then Jameis Winston hit or miss, like I mentioned. So who do you got in this one, Pittsburgh or the Browns?
Yeah, like you said, Browns hit and miss with Jameis. Yeah, they got Jerry Judy. He's a big weapon for them. Um, but I don't know. And yeah, Russ. I mean, what's he? 3 or 4 games in, I think he's still kind of finding their offense is their weakest point of their team.
But
Their defense leads. Their defense is the powerhouse of the NFL and of their team. But it's a tough one. But I got to stick with the Steelers. They had a big win last week against the Ravens. All field goals, 6 field goals for the Steelers kicker Boswell.
yep,
So yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers. I mean, that just shows they can win without scoring a touchdown because he can get points on the board if their defense can hold and they can move the ball a little bit to get in good field goal range. Then they'll find ways to score. So I'm gonna go Steelers on the road, and that puts them at what 10-2.
9-2 if
I
they
think ten and
win.
two or 9-2. Yeah, nine and
Yep.
two. So hell of a record. They just got to keep it up, and yeah, hopefully Russ can get even better when he keeps playing with his team. So
Oh yeah, they're pushing for a playoff chance there in the AFC, and I think this one should be a cakewalk for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully, defense is very stout. It's going to be a tough game
hmm
for the Browns and their offense. They do have Nick Chubb back, but he hasn't been playing well, or hasn't been any got a
right.
whole lot of production or stuff going on. So I got the Steelers in this one on Thursday night. Should be a good one though, low scoring, I think. And yeah, a lot of
hmm
field goals, but should be a decent. Just should come down to the wire,
Yeah,
I
I think
think.
it will
So
be. I mean, it's a rivalry, so you kind of got to say like put the wins out of the way. I think JJ Watt was saying that today. When it's a division rival, you just got to push the record out of the way and just kind of take it as a division rival, and it can go either way. So it's gonna be a tough game for both teams. I think it's gonna be a good game.
yeah, 100%. And then moving on to the Sunday slate, we got the another divisional game. We got the Minnesota Vikings 8-2 going to Chicago to take on the 4-6 Chicago Bears. Minnesota's favored by 3.5 in this one. Should be another good game. A lot of these divisional ones are always close. Sam Darnold that hasn't looked the best in the last couple of weeks has thrown 10 interceptions on the year. So I think that's the most of any quarterback here. So we got to limit the turnovers. But yeah, Bears offensively haven't looked great. They did get a W last week. No, they lost to the Packers last week by a point with that blocked field
Mm-hmm.
goal at the end.
Yeah.
But their offense looked better after firing their offensive coordinator and having the new offensive coordinator come in. They look decent, but weren't able to get the W. Seems like the Bears are always finding a way to lose by a last play or something like that. So, but yeah, 8-2 Vikings, 4-6 Bears. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, like you said, with the new offensive coordinator for the Bears, that was their best game they played. I know they lost, but yeah, Packers beat them by a last-second field goal or a last-second block field goal. But I think they looked better. I think that was their best game, like put together. Caleb Williams looked a lot more comfortable in the pocket, and they just looked, yeah, like a better team, I thought. But Vikings, yeah, 8-2 on the road. It's gonna be chilly in Chicago, I think, with this cold weather coming in. But I am going to stick with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they get it done in Chicago, in the Windy City.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and of course I got to stick with my home team here. I'm gonna go Minnesota Vikings over the Chicago Bears in this one. Like I mentioned, Sam Darnold's got to limit the turnovers. We got to get Aaron
Hmm.
Jones more involved. He's been a huge factor when he is involved. And then yeah, Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Jordan Addison had a touchdown last week, which is nice to see. So just getting all the pieces involved, and then defensively, we just got to keep playing well. We've been playing well on defense the last few games. So I do like the way the defense has been playing. But yeah, just got to keep it up and got to keep playing. I mean, those two losses, yeah, one was to the Rams. Should have, I don't know if, yeah, could have been shoulda, coulda, woulda. And then the Lions, they're a tough team, and we'll face them again and hopefully get redemption here later on in the season. But yeah, give me the Vikings on the road in this one over the divisional Bears.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, moving on, we got the 9-1 Detroit Lions, like I was just mentioning, facing against the 5-6 Indianapolis Colts. It's in Indianapolis, and then Detroit has a 7-point spread in this one. They're favored by 7 points in this one. Yeah, so 9-1 Lions, 5-6 Colts. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I mean, just speaking on the Colts, I mean, getting AR back for a week, first week back after he's benched, he looked good. He had, I think, a few rushing touchdowns and a passing one. I know for two rushing for sure, got in the end zone.
Game
They look
ceiling.
better. Yeah, they look better. So, but like we've said every week, I think for the past multiple weeks, the Lions are too good. They roll teams. Even if you're at home, they're still going to come in and roll you. So I'm going to go Detroit on the road. I'm in Indy over the Colts.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Anthony Richardson did look good. He had that game sealing touchdown run at the end of the game versus the Jets to knock the Jets off 28-27, which was a pretty cool game, pretty good game actually. But yeah, Lions too much of a powerhouse, offense, defense, and special teams. Yeah, I got not much else to say besides yeah, got Knuckles and Sonic and Knuckles with David Montgomery and
Mm,
Jameer Gibbs. Their nicknames or
yeah,
whatever they gave him are like Sonic and Knuckles or whatever. But yeah, I like the Lions on the road in this one. Yeah, give me the Lions on the road over the Indianapolis Colts. So
yeah.
then moving on here, we got the 3-8 New England Patriots traveling to Miami to take on the 4-6 Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins got a good dub last week. But yeah, who do you got in this one? 3-8 Patriots, 4-6 Dolphins. Miami's favored by 7.5 in this one. Yeah, well, what do you got to add to that?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Dolphins here at home. I just think they're looking better and better the more games Tua plays after his concussion. Many of his concussions, just being back and getting back in the groove. Tyreek, yeah, I'm going to pick the Dolphins at home, and I think they're trying to make a push to make the playoffs. So I'm just going to stick with the Dolphins here over the Pats. I mean, I like the way Drake May's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a good quarterback in the future, but yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to take this one at home.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins at home in this one as well. But yeah, Drake May, 9 touchdowns on the year, does have 6 interceptions, and that's just a small sample size. And I think he's just going to keep getting better game after game and year after year. He's, yeah, like you said, I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the future.
Hmm.
But Dolphins put up 34 points on the Raiders. They look like they're back. Like you said, got back in their groove, getting back in the rhythm and everything. Devon Achane's
Right.
been balling out
Hmm.
for the Miami Dolphins. Jalen Waddle still not much to say, but Johnny Smith has stepped up as being like the number 2 wide receiver there, right behind Tyreek. So, yeah, I do like the Miami Dolphins. I do like the way the Patriots are playing. This one is a divisional game too, so this one should be close as well. But yeah, I like the Miami Dolphins in this one at home. So yeah, give me the Fins. And then yeah, moving on, we got another noon o'clock game, and we got the 4-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers facing off against the 2-8 New York Giants, who I think have officially benched Daniel Jones and are starting Tommy DeVito. And so we'll see how that turns out. But for the Bucks, I think they get Mike Evans back this week, coming
Yep, they
off a
do.
bye week as well. So that also helps. So yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 4-6, New York Giants 2-8. Tampa Bay has a 6-point spread in this one. Who do you got?
I mean, if you wanted to, make a good bet, you could go Giants. Tommy DeVito won his first game last year when he got put into the lineup.
Yep.
Had all the hype around him, but you got to go Buccaneers here. I think their record doesn't really speak for how good they are, and they've dealt with a ton of injuries. Having Mike Evans back is huge for Baker, especially. Yeah, I'm gonna go Buccaneers here. Yeah, and then speaking of Daniel Jones, he wasn't even benched. I mean, he got put in. He's 4th string now, so it's Tommy DeVito. What's that guy? He
I'm just
was
gonna
a
look
rapper.
up
He
their
played for the Broncos.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock is supposed to be their 2nd string, but he's now their third, or he's second behind Tommy DeVito, and 3rd string is Tim Boyle, former Packers player. So that's their 3, and then Daniel Jones is actually QB4. So
Oof.
he went from QB making 40 million to QB4.
Still probably
So
making 40 million though.
no,
Or,
he is,
right, right.
but he's QB4 now.
Yeah, he's probably more than likely going to get traded. Hopefully, some team wants to take on that contract and reshape him. He's
hmm
been kind of in a tough organization. They don't have much going for him except for Tyrone Tracy, that rookie running back at. So I mean, besides that, I mean, maybe Wandell Robinson and Malik Neighbors. But
Neighbors is
that's
huge, yeah.
yeah, right, right, yeah, exactly. But looking at that, I mean, not much else to look forward to besides those. But yeah,
No.
I like give me the Buccaneers in this one with Baker Mayfield getting Mike Evans back. Rashid White's been playing well. Both teams are coming off byes, so I mean, both well rested. But yeah, I like Tampa Bay on the road in this one, so give me the Bucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, moving on, we got the another divisional game. We got the 3-7 Dallas Cowboys going up against the 7-4 Washington Commanders. Yeah, Dallas, like you shaking your head over there. Yeah, complete dog water this season. Aren't looking good. Obviously lost Dak and are playing with Cooper Rush or Trey Lance. But on the other hand, Commanders are looking good. Had a tough loss last week against the Eagles, another divisional. That was that Thursday night game we were mentioning there. Was a good game to start, and then second half, Eagles kind of just pulled away.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you got in this one? Another divisional game. You have the Washington Commanders hosting the Dallas Cowboys, sitting at 3-7 and 7-4 Commanders.
Yeah, I got
Washington's yeah, sorry,
go
don't
ahead.
mean to interrupt. Washington Commanders favored by 10 points in this one, so that's kind of that's
Yeah.
the largest spread of the week besides the
hmm
Chiefs and Panthers. But
Yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders here. Yeah, I was watching the Cowboys last week. Cooper Rush looks terrible. I mean, he had a few good balls that were right on the money, deep balls. Other than that, he was throwing it. You could tell CD Lamb was getting frustrated. I think they just got to kind of bail on their season here, and yeah, Commanders all the way, especially at home. And coming off a loss, you gotta expect a win out of that. So I'm gonna go Commanders at home.
yeah, it was an embarrassing Monday night performance from the Dallas Cowboys at home on prime time. Their stadium was falling apart. Their team's
Yeah.
falling apart.
hmm
The whole season's falling apart. So not too much to look forward to for the Dallas Cowboys besides maybe a high first round pick there in the upcoming draft. But um, yeah, Commanders on the other hand looking good. Jane Daniels kind of slowing down a little bit. I think maybe with that rib injury that he had or that oblique, whatever he had there, might be
hmm
slowing him down. To kind of more timid to run a little bit, but he's still up for rookie of the year conversation and everything like that. Right along Brock Bowers, right around like Brock
Oh
Bowers,
yeah.
he's been playing well for the Raiders there. But
Yeah, and Bo Nix kind of hopped into that conversation after last week's game too.
yep, Bo Nix has been playing well. Obviously, you got to keep Malik Neighbors in there as well, and Marvin Harrison. I mean, they've all both been
Mm,
producing and putting up
yeah.
numbers. I know kind of different teams and structures and everything. But yeah, Washington Commanders, I have them beating the Dallas Cowboys in this one in the divisional game at home for the Commanders. So yeah, give me the Washington Commanders on the road or at
Oh
home
yeah.
in this one. So and yeah, moving on, we got another noon o'clock game. The 9-1 Kansas City Chiefs, who got their undefeated streak snapped last week by the Buffalo Bills, traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina, to take on the 3-7 Panthers. Kansas City's favored by 10.5 in this one. Yeah, who do you got in this one? 9-1 Chiefs, 3-7 Panthers. Not
Yeah,
much,
nothing
but
to
yeah.
really to say about this. Yeah, Panthers. I mean, they can give her hell, but I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs. And I think Chiefs, just like the Commanders, bounce back and get a dub. Yeah, tough loss for the Chiefs. Played a tough team in Buffalo, but I think they're probably kind of glad they don't have the weight of that undefeated season record on their shoulders. So kind of relief, and then just kind of bounce back and whoop the shit out of the Panthers is what you got to hope. So I'm gonna go Chiefs on the road in Carolina.
Yeah, get that all the losses out of the way now. You pretty much have a solidified spot in the playoffs. I mean, obviously you probably don't want to lose to the Panthers
Mm-mm.
or the Broncos coming up or any of those other teams. But I mean, yeah, good to get that loss from the Bills out of the way. And fun fact, I guess I should have mentioned this last week, but Chiefs and Bills matchup in the last 7 games. Bills 4-0 in the regular season, Chiefs 3-0 in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, Bills have their number in the regular season, but when it comes down to the games that matter in the postseason, Chiefs are undefeated in that aspect against the Bills. So they'll
Yeah.
probably meet again here in the postseason, and we'll see what happens. But that's always a fun matchup to watch, and they did show out last week at the 3:25 clock slate, so that was a fun game to
Yeah.
watch, like we predicted. So yeah, give me the Chiefs. Not much to mention between these two teams. Actually, I mean Bryce Young's been playing well. I mean he has two
Mm-hmm.
wins under his belt, doesn't he now?
I
Back
think
to
more.
back.
I think more than two. I think he had one. I think he had
Uh,
one,
the
or at least
Raiders
was he
win.
0-2 or 0-3?
Yeah, I think he was 0-2, and then they put in Red Rocket
I
against
think
the
so.
Raiders,
Yeah.
and then they went off, and then they lost every game since then. So now with the Saints, got a dub against the Saints and got a dub against the Giants. So he's on a 2-game winning streak. That's
Oh
probably
yeah.
gonna get snapped here by the Chiefs, but um,
Yeah.
he's been playing well. I mean, it might have been a good time to get benched, just like AR. You got benched for those 2 games, and then comes in, or he benched himself, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
comes back in and has a good last couple of games and
Yeah.
hopefully can keep it up there. So, but yeah, give me the Chiefs all the way in this one. And then yeah, moving on, we got the 2-8 Tennessee Titans traveling to Houston to take on the 7-4 Texans. We just mentioned they got a nice dub against the Cowboys on Monday night, but are Texans coming off a short week. And then I think the Titans might be coming off a bye, if I'm not mistaken. No, they played. Who did the Titans play last week? Titans played
Um.
the Vikings. Ah, of course, yeah. Titans
Yeah.
Titans played the Vikings. So yeah, 2-8 Texans going up against the 7-4 Texans. Houston has a 7.5 point favorite in this one. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Texans here. I don't think they looked great against the Cowboys. Um. But I think they looked pretty good. I think Nico adds a ton of explosiveness to their offense.
Mhm.
I mean, he scored the first play, but it got called back
Right.
on a flag. So um, they looked. I don't think they looked great, but with him back, maybe they start get things flowing a little bit. But and then Titans, I don't know, man. I want to go Texans here at home, and I think they make a little run here at the end of the season to solidify their spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, Texans. I mean, the only thing working for them is Joe Mixon.
Hmm.
He's been a workhorse and a great pickup for the Texans. He's been
Yeah.
probably one of the better offseason acquisitions this offseason. So fun to watch him play. He had 3 touchdowns last week. But CJ Stroud, I think just needs to get back in rhythm with Nico. Yeah, obviously he had that one screenplay where Nico took it for 75 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, obviously got called back for an ineligible man downfield. But
Yep.
yeah, I mean they're a good team. They're still out Stephon Diggs. But that Munchu or Menchie, that wide receiver, number 8 that stepped in.
Yeah. John Mechie.
Yeah,
Mechie.
something. Yeah,
Like,
he stepped in, played well last week and against the Cowboys. So
hmm.
past 2 weeks here, and yeah. not much to say on the Titans. Calvin Ridley is probably their only weapon besides Tony Pollard. And their defense isn't great. Secondary is all right, but yeah, I think yeah, Texans in this one all the way, especially being in Houston. So yeah, not much else to say on that one. Give me the Texans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, moving on to the afternoon slate, we got the 6-5 Denver Broncos, who you mentioned Bo Nix has been playing really well, going up against the 2-8 Las Vegas Raiders. It's in Vegas. Not much to say against for the Raiders besides Brock Bowers and maybe Jacoby Myers, but yeah, Denver Broncos 6-5, Las Vegas Raiders 2-8. Denver has a 6-point spread in this one. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos here. Like I said, Bo Nix playing really well. I think he was the first cute quarterback to. I think he pretty much a perfect passer rating. I think he was 28 for the third year, something like that. 300 yards,
Mhm.
3 TDs. I think he was one of the first rookies to do that. So he's on a roll here. I think him and Sean Payton are clicking, man. I mean, Sean Payton got rid of Russ for a reason to pick Bo Nix. So he saw something in Bo Nix that obviously other teams before the Broncos didn't see. So yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos here. Yeah, and like you said, Raiders they got a few key players, but I just don't think they can get it done. Not having a great season.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, Denver Broncos put up a great performance up against a good team. The Atlanta Falcons completely shut them out. Yeah, their defense is stellar. And then what Bo Nix has been able to produce week after week, just improving every week. And yeah, went 28 for 33, like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Oh, 4 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, not even like these are stats you see from like Tom Brady or like yeah, Patrick Mahomes or
Mm-hmm.
Josh
Josh
Allen,
Allen.
right? Or Lamar Jack. Like you see these numbers from like players, veterans that have been in the league for a while, not usually from rookies, but yeah, you see Bo Nix, like you said, this whole rookie class of quarterbacks is fun to watch. Great,
Mm-hmm.
been probably one of the better rookie classes in the last 10 years at least, maybe even more than that. So
Yeah.
for
Very good. Very
quarterbacks.
good.
So yeah, I like what Bo Nix is doing. So yeah, give me Denver Broncos, their defense and what Bo Nix has been able to do on the offensive end. I like what I'm seeing. So yeah, give me Denver on the road in this one over the Raiders. And then yeah, moving on to this, probably the game of the week, America's game of the week, kind of a rematch against the divisional or yeah, was it conference or divisional
Conference.
conference championship 2 years ago? You had the 5-5 San Francisco 49ers traveling to Lambeau. Probably not as cold as weather as it was back in the conference championship going up against the 7-3 Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 2 in this one. Who do you got in this one? Obviously, probably all know, but yeah, this one should be a fun game.
It's gonna be a tight game. Uh, Packers' worst nightmare is the 49ers. We've lost them so many times, either in the conference or divisional round. I think the game that me and you went to was a divisional game, or a divisional round game. I think.
It has to be conference because they're not in the same division. So it was
No,
conference. It's going to the, or is it wild card?
conference. Might have been a wild card. Yeah, yeah, maybe wild card. That was 2 years ago. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers. Barely squeaked one by. Looked terrible against the Bears. Just couldn't get anything going. Had Jordan Love threw one TD that was right off the bat. Josh Jacobs had a touchdown, 78 yards, 18 attempts. Um, yeah, threw another pick. So I think he's 16 TDs to 11 interceptions. Not good at all. Probably the worst in the league as far as interception wise. Um, not good at all. But I'm going to stick with them. I think their defense is good, and they have to bounce back. I mean, this is a big game. If you get to 8-3, you're sitting pretty good to get a spot in the playoffs here. If you keep win a few more games, I mean, if you get to 10-7 or 11-6, you're looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go Packers on at home, and hopefully it's cold. But like you said, it's probably not going to be blizzarding like the game we went to, but it's gonna be pretty chilly, I think. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Packers.
And San Francisco coming off a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. That was a
Mm-hmm.
divisional game, close game and stuff like that. That was fun to watch, but um, they haven't looked like the same San Francisco 49ers team that we're used to seeing here in the past. Um, Obviously they've been injury riddled and with obviously Christian McCaffrey out, but now he's back.
George Kittle,
George Kittle's been banged up.
but he's back
Uh,
this week.
Yep, Debo's been banged up throughout the year, but he's back. Obviously, you lost Ayuk with that knee injury, ACL injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, obviously not the same team, and a little banged up, but yeah, they still have that team, and you still know that. I mean, everyone still knows that this is still the San Francisco 49ers, and they can revert back to that team being that team at any moment here. So it is kind of scary. Like they could get that game, that feeling with the Packers could feel more like a playoff game, and they could be hungry
Mm-hmm.
during this game. So this one is a close one, should be a good fun matchup. But
Yeah.
oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
do
be a
like
tough
the
game.
I do like the Packers in this one just being in Lambeau. But I witnessed it with my own eyes that 49ers can come in there and win in Lambeau, especially
Mm-hmm.
in big games like it was that game. So I'm gonna go San Francisco 49ers in this one. I think that the Packers lose to them here in the regular season and then come back in the playoffs. Hopefully it's the Vikings, not the Packers facing the 49ers in the conference game, but I do think the Packers find a way to squeak it out. I don't think the Lions, yeah. I like the Packers and the Vikings chances over the Lions to make it out of the NFC North there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, give me the 49ers in this game over the Packers on the road. So give
Oh
me the
yeah.
49ers.
I think that's our only disagreement so far
Yeah, and I
is that game.
kind of wanted to switch it up just because we have been going, and that's probably the game I would. But there's another couple close ones coming up that we
I think these 3 o'clock games I think are the best games besides Thursday night. I think they're the best games.
yeah.
Thursday night, and then you got the 3:05, 3:25 games, and then the Monday night game. I think those are the best games, and the
Yeah.
Sunday night, I guess too.
Yeah, no, there's the next few that we're gonna rattle off our good matchups here, but yeah, so we'll go hop into them. We got the 6-4 Arizona Cardinals who have been on a roll, going up against the 5-5 Seattle Seahawks, who, like we mentioned, got a great dub over the 49ers last week.
Hmm.
Arizona's only favored by 1 point in this one as of now. That might switch here to maybe even come game time, but this is in Seattle, the home of the 12th man. So it should be a close game. Always fun game, and when it's in Seattle. So 6-4 Arizona Cardinals, 5-5 Seahawks. Game of the birds. Who do you got?
Yeah, I didn't have this one circled. This is gonna be a tough one. Mm, I'm gonna go Seattle. Um, I know they haven't been playing as good as everybody thought. I mean, it's kind of started off decent, but and I like Gino. I don't know, but they're at home, so I think that could maybe give them a little bit of an advantage. So I'm gonna go Seattle at home.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks as well. I thought you were gonna go Cardinals. But yeah, just being at home. Yeah, Seattle has had their ebbs and flows, their ups and downs throughout the year, but they're fully healthy. They're back. You got yeah, Kenneth Walker, you got Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba, who's been playing phenomenal. Um,
Hmm.
Tyler Lockett has his hit or misses, and so does DK Metcalf, but they can explode up for 2 touchdowns any game, you name it, and they just have a. I like the way they're coached and the way they play well together. So yeah, give me the
Hmm.
Seattle Seahawks, especially being in Seattle, home of the 12th man. So yeah, give me Seattle to over the Cardinals in this one. This one should be a good one and a close one.
Yeah, should be
Maybe high scoring too. Usually when these two teams match up, it's pretty high scoring,
like
like
a shootout.
34, yeah, 34, 38, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on here. We got a Sunday night game. We got the 8-2, excuse me, 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles have been playing phenomenally. Don't get a lot of credit. They get more backlash than they get credit for how they've been playing. But then yeah, going up against the 5-5 LA Rams. Philly's favored by 3 in this one, but the Rams have been playing well too. You get the 8-2 Eagles, 5-5 Rams. Who do you got in this one?
I'm gonna go Philly, just because the run game is pretty much unstoppable. I love Saquon. I think I say it about every week. He gets me a lot of fantasy points. He's a dog. He's the head of that team. I think he is more of a captain than Jalen is, but obviously Jalen is probably the primary captain because he's the QB. But I'm gonna go Eagles on the road. I think it should be a good game. The Rams got to come out hot if they want to make it a game. Obviously, you got Puka. Cooper Cup balled out last week, um, but I just think the Eagles get it done.
Yeah, I think the Eagles get it done as well. It is in LA though, and Matt Stafford plays well in LA in the dome. And then yeah, Puka Nacua had a crazy catch last week again. And then yeah, Cooper
Cooper Cup.
Cooper Cup's been playing well. Kyron Williams has been balling out too.
Hmm.
Yeah, Rams been playing well. They got a good defensive line too with Jared Verse, that rookie out of Florida State, and the other guy out of Florida State too is his teammate is on the line as well. So they have a good defense. I like what they're doing there in LA. Obviously, well coached with Sean McVay, and then yeah, you got the Eagles coach with Doug Peterson, or what's his not Doug Peterson. He's the coach for the Nick Sirianni
Nick
or
Sirianni,
whatever.
yep, the
Yeah,
Eagles coach, yeah.
yep, exactly. So I mean, he's a character. He's fun to watch.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, you got Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley now, and Dallas Goddard here and there. Yeah, this
Yeah.
Eagles team is nice. So yeah, give me
Hmm.
Philly on the road. I think they're going to be in the NFC Championship there, for sure. Probably come later on in the season. So yeah, give me the Eagles on the road. And then yeah, to wrap up Week 12, everything. Last game of the slate, we have the Monday night game. We have the 7-4 Baltimore Ravens who took the L last week over the Pittsburgh Steelers, like we mentioned. Tough fought game, divisional game. Like those ones are always close. But yeah, Baltimore Ravens 7-4, heading to LA to take on the Chargers, who are sitting at 7-3, who've been playing really well. I think that Harbaugh coach change really helped with him coming in, and J.K. Dobbins has been playing well, and then yeah, Justin Herbert's been looking real good as well. So
Hmm.
so yeah, I got the 7-4 Baltimore Ravens, 7-3 LA Chargers. Baltimore is actually favored by 3 on the road in this one. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a fun game. I'm gonna go Chargers. I'm gonna stick with the Chargers. I think the Ravens are gonna drop two back to back. And they didn't
Oof.
play very good at all against Pittsburgh.
No, they didn't, but
Um,
I don't know. I can't see the Ravens dropping 2 in a row.
I'm gonna do it. I think yeah, J.K. Dobbins, and I like their tight end. I think it's Will Disley. Is it he
Yeah.
plays for the Chargers? Yeah, I
Yep.
picked him up in a few of my fantasies, and he's done pretty well. Just looking at his games, I only had him 1 week, but I'm gonna go Chargers at home in Los Angeles. Yeah, I just like him. I like Harbaugh. Like we say every week, J.K. Dobbins got to get it going. And you got a few good receivers. Who's that number one?
Quentin Johnston,
Quentin Johnston. He played at
TCU.
TCU.
Yeah.
He's a good player, a good young player. I'm gonna go Chargers at home, and I think this is gonna be one of my games. I know last week you picked the Ravens against the Steelers, and I went Steelers over the Ravens. I think it's one of the games that I might could steal one, and it makes a difference when you can steal those tight ones. So I'm gonna go Chargers here at home.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you did squeak that Steelers game out. That was a pretty nice call by you. And then yeah, good pickup on with Will Disley in the fantasy leagues. He went off for a touchdown last week as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're a young team. I do like the Chargers, but Ravens are a young team as well. And
Yeah.
then you got Derrick Henry, who's been having a yeah, MVP like year. So I mean, it's hard to pick with this one. Ravens high powered offense. Chargers defense have been stepping it up. They were really hated on the last 2 years being one of the highest paid defenses,
Hmm.
and didn't perform at a top level. But now they are performing at a top level and been really stepping it up. So I think those coaching changes really helped out the LA Chargers and their organization. But I don't think I can see the LA Chargers getting this one done, even though it is at home. But the Baltimore Ravens coming in, I think they have a bad taste losing to the Steelers last week. So yeah, give me the Baltimore Ravens on the road in this one over the LA Chargers on Monday night. Should
All
be a
right.
fun matchup
Should
though,
be a good
but
game.
yeah, a lot of fun matchups this week. A lot of divisionals. We're kind of getting into the last kind of 6 weeks of the NFL here, so there's going to be a lot of divisional matchups here coming up this last couple of weeks. And then also this week is probably one of the bigger ones for buys here, week 12 and week 14. But yeah, week 12 buys, you have the Falcons, the Bills, the Bengals, the Saints, the Jets, and the Jaguars. So if you have any of those players on fantasy teams, I know Bills are a high powered offense, Bengals high powered. Yeah, you're gonna have some players that are on bye week. So look to hit the waiver wires and pick up some players to replace those guys if you don't have anybody already. But yeah, kind of just going over our records here. Wasn't a great week for me last week. I know there was some upsets and things of that nature. But yeah, I went 9-5 last week, so not a great board. Just money line spread and everything like that, which puts my overall record for this season at 110 156 overall. So I'm 110 and 56. What are you sitting at for?
I went 11-3 last week. It's a pretty good week for me,
Mhm.
despite some upsets me as Steelers, like we mentioned.
Mhm.
And then overall, I'm 104-62. So I'm making some ground. I need to have a few good weeks here to finish up the season. Maybe I can catch you, but 104-62. And what do you say? You were 110 and what?
56.
There
Yeah,
you
so
go.
we're not too far apart, only like 6 games or whatever that is. So yeah, it comes down. We only have 6 weeks left of regular season for NFL. So yeah, last 6 weeks we should get some more guests on and get the picker guest picker on and everything. Cause yeah,
Hmm.
record is still sitting at 12-2 to beat. I think we've had a total of 5 or 6 guest pickers on this year.
Yeah, I think
Something
five.
Yeah, something like that. So we got to get some more guest pickers on, so we can't get that picker to beat record to be changed to maybe hopefully an undefeated record. That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sick.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, let's see how that shakes out and everything. But that wraps it up for week 12 slate. Like we said, should be a fun slate. Last week 11 was a fun slate. So just keep the momentum rolling into the playoffs. Only a couple weeks left for fantasy. I think
Hmm.
3 or 4 weeks left of fantasy regular season, then into the playoffs. So yeah, not too many weeks left to make your playoff pushes for fantasy. But yeah, let's hop into the locks of the week. We got 3 game locks and 3 TD locks, and we'll start with the game locks. So yeah, go ahead, Ev. Who do you got for game locks?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers over the Browns tomorrow night or the night this comes out. I'm gonna go Eagles over the Rams, and then I'm gonna go Buccaneers over the Giants. I say picks the Buck Giants, but yeah, Steelers, Eagles, Bucks.
Nice. So you're gonna stay away from the Packers 49ers game. You don't want to put any money on the home team.
No, I think it's gonna be too tight. Like you said, 49ers come into it like it's a playoff game because they played them so many times in the playoffs. So it's gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be very nerve wracking to watch for sure.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna be watching it pretty much. It's gonna be America's game of the week right there on 325. Probably gonna be televised pretty much everywhere
Hmm.
around the country. So yeah, still great game locks. You got the Thursday night game, got the Steelers over the Browns, Eagles over the Rams, and then yeah, you backed it up with who was that last game you picked?
Buccaneers over the Giants. That's my
But
safe pick.
Bucks over the Giants. Yep, yep. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, let's move on. I'll do my 3 game locks of the week. I'm gonna go home team. Mine's a little bit easier of a spread to pick than yours, easier matchup, but I'm gonna go the Vikings over the Chicago Bears to kick it off on Sunday. And then I'm gonna go Washington Commanders over the Dallas Cowboys. I do like that one. Even
Hmm.
though it's a divisional game, I do like the Commanders over the Cowboys. I don't think there's much going for the boys
No.
this year. And then let's see, what should my third one be? I'm going to do another divisional game here. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos over the Las Vegas Chargers. That one should be a lock. But I did want to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go Denver Broncos. I picked them for about 3 locks of the week, and I think they hit every time. But yeah, I do like the Denver Broncos defensive lot. So yeah, give me the Broncos as one of my locks of the week. So and then do you want to just run through those quick? I know we mentioned them a few times, but
Yeah, so you got Vikings over the Bears, Commanders over the Cowboys, and then you got Broncos over the Raiders, and I got Steelers over the Browns, Eagles over the Rams, and the Buccaneers over the Giants.
hell yeah. Oh yeah, then let's move on to TD locks. 3 TD locks again, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, all over or have to have one rushing or receiving touchdown. And then if it's a
Hmm.
quarterback throw in has to be 2 touchdowns passing. So
Yep, yep.
who do you got for your TD locks of the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from running backs this week and quarterbacks. I'm gonna go all receivers. I'm gonna go George Pickens over 1.5 or over 1 touchdown. Mike Evans over 1 touchdown. Being back, hopefully he's healthy and I'm able to get the touchdown. And then Nico Collins, he's obviously healthy. Get his first touchdown back off of IR. So I'm gonna go Pickens, Mike Evans, and Nico Collins.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Those are all 3 great picks. Yeah, Nico Collins needs to get back on track. I have
Hmm.
him in like 4 of my fantasy leagues, but I think yeah, him and CJ Stroud are gonna get going here.
Yeah.
George Pickens been playing great, had crazy catches last few weeks with Russ at the helm, and then Mike Evans, yeah, coming off of injury and off a bye week here. Needs to get things going with Bake to keep that playoff picture alive. I mean, that division's wide open still.
Yeah.
In that conference, who's sitting at the top of that here? The Falcons at 6-5, yeah, and
And they got the
Tampa's at
Saints. Yeah, the
Saints at
Saints.
4-7. Yep, exactly. And then Panthers at 3-7, and Tampa's at 4-6. So that division's wide open. So they need
Yeah,
to
for
make a
sure.
push, and Mike Evans would for sure help on that one. So great locks of the week. And then I'm gonna go for my TD locks of the week. I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey with a rushing touchdown just to back up my 49ers pick. If they want to win, they need to get Christian McCaffrey going. So I'm gonna have him with a touchdown for this week. And then I'm gonna go let's keep it interesting. Let's go Marvin Harrison Jr. with a receiving touchdown over the Seattle Seahawks. And then Cortland Sutton with the receiving touchdown.
He's been playing well.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And I'm going to go Cortland Sutton down with a touchdown over the Las Vegas Raiders there. But also Javonte Williams has been playing well, so you can also. And then, yeah, we didn't even mention the Kansas City Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco might be back. We didn't mention this during that game. But he might be back, and if he's back, probably watch him for a rushing touchdown over the Panthers. They're very weak defensive line. So
they opened up the 21-day window before last week's game, so he's got to be back this week, or has to be back next week, or he's done for the year. So
right,
yeah, I'm expecting him. Yeah, I don't know if they'll bring him back this week just because they do have an easier game, but who knows?
Would be good just to get him back, and then also in that game, Jonathan Brooks out of Texas, the rookie tore his ACL. He should be back this week as well. So that game should come with some storylines if both of those guys are back. So that should be fun to watch, especially Jonathan Brooks, what he did in Texas, and then that crucial or that fatal, not fatal, obviously, but that heartbreaking knee injury that he had midseason. And then he came in last play during the bowl game and got the kneel down or whatever to end this season. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, good storyline for that game, but all great locks. So if you want to run through those quick, just to recap, we'll run through those quick.
Yeah, so you had CMC +1 rushing, correct?
Or receiving, I guess.
Or receiving, okay. And then you have Marvin Harrison +1 receiving, and then Cortland Sutton +1 receiving. And I had George Pickens +1 receiving, Mike Evans +1 receiving, and then Nico Collins +1 receiving. So I think those are all pretty good picks, and I do really like our game locks as well. So I think you could take all of them, or you could grab a handful from these picks, and I think they should hit.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully, I put in a 10-leg parlay last week and missed it by a couple. The last three that I had Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, and then I had the Baltimore Ravens on there as well. And all three of those got upset, and those were like the later games of the afternoon or whatever. So kind of got upset, but should be a fun week this week. Hopefully we win some money and everything like that. College football's been awesome. I've been love watching college football, and coming down to some big games. We got Ohio State and Indiana this week. That one should be a good one. And then College Game Day is that's where it's at, right? At Ohio State or what?
Ohio State. Yeah, and the big ruckus is it's a noon game. And it's such a big game. 5 versus 2, I think it is.
At noon, that kind of is.
It's at noon, but I like it because you can wake up on Saturday, even though this weekend I won't be watching any football on Saturday for sure because I'm going hunting. But I think it's kind of silly because I like to get up and watch it. Right away. You have to wait the entire day to watch a game. But some people just like to wait to have it at night under the lights. Friday night lights, Saturday night lights. So
yeah, kind of pre-game before the big game, but. I don't mind. I like watching football all day. I just have it on in the background. I don't pay too much attention unless it's coming down to the wire or something. But Colorado's been playing well. What else been some big games going on here? Let me pull up the rankings here.
Yeah, this is kind of being a bandwagon, but I'm really excited for the Ohio State Indiana game. I like Coach Ignetti. I just like the way their story. I think if they win, this is a huge win. Ohio State already has one loss, so if they lose, they're out. I think they're out of the college playoffs. I think. I think it's gonna be tight. But I think Indiana, if they win this game, they should be able to squeak in. So it's gonna be an interesting game, and I'm kind of a bandwagon. I'm a Indiana fan for sure.
Yeah, it's a huge statement game
Hoosiers.
for huge statement game for Indiana because their strength of schedule. I was watching College Game Day yesterday is like 100th, ranked 100th
Hmm.
out of all of this schedule. So really, they're saying that they don't play anybody, and that's why they're 10-0. So going up against Ohio State, who is a Big Ten like champion year after year, one of the top teams in college football.
Hmm.
If they beat them, yeah, that's a huge statement game
Yeah,
for them. So.
but they were saying on Pat McAfee's show that Ohio State and Indiana have played three of the same teams, and the difference Indiana actually beats them in a lot of statistical type stats, whether
Right.
it's points scored or whatever,
Right.
differential, whatever. So it should be a good game. I'm pumped for that one.
Yeah, and not too many weeks of college football. I think there's only 2 or 3 weeks left of the regular
Hmm.
season, and then it's
Yep.
on to the bowl games, and then the 12 team or 12 team championship, which is gonna be awesome. We actually, yeah, first year ever, we were actually witnessing history. But yeah, top teams: Oregon, yeah, Texas looking great. We
Hmm.
mentioned Ohio State and Indiana. Alabama's sitting at 8-2; they're looking great. Georgia's 8-2. There's been some controversy around them. Tennessee 8-2, Miami 9-1 had that bad loss a couple weeks ago. Boise State with Ashton Gentry been looking
Genty,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, Ashton Gentry. Yep. Ole Miss has been dominant. So I mean, yeah, a lot of great teams. SMU's been looking great. Yeah, just love college football. It's fun, and I'm excited for the 12 team playoff. That should be sweet to watch.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and so I know we haven't mentioned college football in a while, but just wanted to mention that there. And then yeah, basketball, they're in their NBA Cup that's going on right now, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and yeah,
Um,
basketball. We'll have. Oh, yeah, Cleveland was 15-0, or yeah, 15-0, and they played the Celtics last night, and Celtics beat them. So they're now unbeaten. I think the last team to go 16-0 was the Golden State
Warriors
Warriors when they
back
won their
in
championship.
2000, yeah, back in like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah,
So I
so
mean, they've been playing. Yeah, this is a crazy streak that the Cleveland Cavaliers were on. But Boston, another team in the East at 12-3, looking great in the
hmm.
East, and then the Bucks also in the East, sitting at 5-9. They've been playing like dog water. Haven't been playing great at all.
Hmm.
Um, Lamelo Ball has been putting up crazy ass numbers and putting up.
Yeah, he
He's
has.
fun as fuck to watch.
I mean,
So
I saw something. They sat him the last 3.5 minutes or 2.5 minutes of the game last night, I think it was, and he was going off in that game, and they sat him like the last 2.5 minutes, and they end up losing by 1 point. So, not
mm,
great coaching there, but yeah,
yeah.
NBA. And I'm not sure. I haven't really been following a ton of the NBA, but I think the Lakers are doing pretty well. LeBron's still putting up decent numbers for
Hmm.
a 39-year-old or whatever he is, 40 years old. So,
Dalton Connect had 9 threes last
oh
night.
man, he balled out. He's
Rookie
one of the
record.
yeah, he's a great shooter. And I was boasting about him back in college when,
March. Yep.
yeah, March Madness. He played for Tennessee
Hmm.
Volunteers, so he balled out then. And I know he was one of the older players to go in the draft, and a lot of injuries, and so there's a lot of doubt there. And the Lakers took him, and it's paying off for them for sure.
Yep. Golden State's been on a roll without Clay and everything like that. They're sitting at 10-3. Oklahoma City at 11-4 in the West, and then Lakers at 10-4 in the West. So yeah, looking good. Wolves at 8-6 have been hit or miss. Dallas at 8-7. They've been hit or miss as well. And then the Spurs are creeping. Wemby had 50 points the other night, which was
Hmm.
his career high, which was awesome to see. So yeah, I like watching NBA. I know it's a long ass season, a lot of games, and we're only a quarter way, not even a quarter way into the
Not
season.
even,
So
yeah, they're 15 games in, not even
yeah,
about 15 games in, 60. Yeah.
13 to 15. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, I like watching NBA, and the NBA Cup's going on right now. So a little bit slower of a
Hmm.
season, but the courts are cool. I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of fun. You get to see all the different courts with they're painted differently. So
Hmm.
but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, anything else you want to add to this podcast? I mean, that can pretty much wraps it up. We Jake Paul fought last week against Mike
You know, forgot
Tyson.
to mention that
Mhm.
that was a snooze fest. Mike Tyson's too old, but got a bag, got 20 mil. I think Jake ended up getting 80 or 90 mil off that fight. Netflix crashed, so you couldn't really watch the entire fight. They just had issues, and that's the biggest concern. Is Christmas Day game is NFL games on Netflix, so they got to figure their shit out before that happens because a lot of NFL fans will be pissed off if they can't watch football on Christmas Day. But good for Jake Paul, one of the best entrepreneurs in the game. obviously he's fighting older people, but these are people are agreeing to fight, and he's giving these people paydays too. So it's a win-win for I think both of them. So good for
Yeah.
Jake Paul. Other news, I mean, Jets are even a bigger dumpster fire than they were. They fired Joe Douglas, their GM, after firing their head coach. Then they, what's his name? Their Pfizer guy, Johnson, Woody Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Woody Johnson and Johnson. He comes out week 4. He told the coaches that he wanted to bench Rodgers, and they all pushed back and said no. And then they pick up Devontae Adams. So I don't really know what's going on there. I think Rodgers, they're kind of saying they want to move away from Rodgers after this year, but that's a difficult issue because you pick up Devontae. I just don't know where they're going to go for there. Rodgers should have stayed possibly in Green Bay or retired. I don't know.
Both of them should have stayed in Green Bay. I mean, yeah, then you would have to controversy with Jordan Love and everything like that. Probably good thing for the Packers that they moved on from that because they knew what was coming and they were right. Probably look at all the drama he's been bringing to New York and everything like that. So, but yeah, that Jake Paul fight seemed kind of rigged. There was a couple times in the first round where Mike Tyson laid paws on him and kind of had him against the ropes where he thought, oh, old Mike would have came in with the right hand and knocked him out or something like that. But yeah, it was fun. And then that John Jones fight was pretty sweet. John Jones knocked
that spinning back kick.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got him right in the gut. Yeah, knocked him out, and that was a good fight. But yeah, not much else going on that I can think of right off the top of my head. Been pretty fun watching football the last few weeks, college and NFL, and then watching NBA in between that, and then we got Thanksgiving coming up next weekend. So got to get ready for that. Planning, traveling, stay safe. We got first snow on the ground this morning or yesterday morning. So it's here. Winter's here. We got our first snow. So hopefully the weather stays good for traveling for the holidays and everything like that. But excited for Thanksgiving dinner and
yes, sir.
and seeing family and friends and all that good stuff. So anything else to add to this podcast?
I don't think so. I'm ready for this week's slate. Starting tonight or whatever. Yeah, tonight, Steelers Browns. I'm pumped for that game. I think the Steelers are going to pull this one out, but it should be a good Thursday night game.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, Jameis Winston delivers and gets a high scoring game. Hopefully, it's like 38-35 or something like that. It gives us something to watch. Maybe. Amazon, Jeff Bezos has been what was this second or third year that it's been on Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football. Been kind of
second year.
Yeah, that was kind of shitty the last few years that I can remember. Thursday Night Football has always been a shitty game, but this year has been a different story. The Thursday night games this year have been pretty nuts. For sure. Pretty nuts. So hopefully this one delivers as well. So, but yeah, that wraps it up for week 12 of the NFL and 2 confrontationals. So if you don't have anything to add, we'll see you guys next week on the pod. Until then, peace.